Okay, so tell us, what is the deficiency in the aesthetic world right now? What do you see as being the area that's being neglected, and where are the opportunities?
You and I kind of spoke a little bit about some of the stuff we're doing, but when I look at it, I think one area is biostimulation. So not just filling the skin, but what do we put in the skin to help your body produce new collagen and create new tissue so that your body's doing some of the work. Um, you know, that's an area that I think is going to become more and more important now that, fillers have kind of reached, I think they're probably at the height of their technological advancement with HA. I don't know how much more you can do with HA. So I think you want to start adding biostimulatory ingredients to it. So things like polylactic acid, polycaprolactone, PDO, things that will stimulate your skin to produce tissue. So there's that. I think the body is a deficiency. There's really no proper body filling product. We have a product now that we've been working on for a few years. I think that's going to be huge in the next 10, 15 years. And then, we talked a little bit about threads. So there's some new types of threads that are made of biostimulatory materials like PDO. I think that's going to become very important. But definitely there's a few areas that it could go in. We're very kind of bullish on the body and on biostimulatory products. So those are two areas that we've been working on a lot, and we're hoping to have some products very soon.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. I'm glad you're telling us.
Yeah, we've been working. I mentioned to you, we've been working on the body product for a few years, and we have a 10 ml body product, but we don't have the approvals for the body yet. So
Yeah.
it's sold, under a facial indication. But we're hoping that we can do the studies and the work to get that approved. We've already started a lot of that work with a plastic surgeon in Toronto, Dr. Sean Rice, that's been helping us. So
Yeah. And what's next for you? So you've built
yeah,
this great company.
I
You've got
have,
some great advancements and developments. What's next?
yeah, for me, what I enjoy is exactly what we were just talking about. All the new stuff, like the creative side of the business, is what I like. I think if I ever felt that I couldn't do that anymore, then I probably would want to do something else. But right now, I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and we're doing so many things that I have some excitement for the next 4 or 5 years. And we've had a few offers to sell the company. We had one a few years ago that we were very close to signing. I'll tell you, this is kind of an interesting story. So we had an offer that was, a ton of money. It was enough that my grandkids wouldn't need to work, and so we decided to do it. And I was always reluctant because I do enjoy what I do, and I was always kind of like, well, what am I going to do after this? And I was a little bit sad about it. And I remember we started going down the road of getting this deal signed, and during that process, you're kind of getting to know the other company's CEO, and you're figuring out what you're going to do when they transition. And as we got to know the CEO of this company, I just was like, there's no way that I can work for this guy. There's no way that I can do it. I'm going to be I don't care how much money he's giving me. Like, I would rather not do this and I'm going to be miserable. So I told Kasha, I'm like, in literally a couple days before we were, supposed to sign the deal, I'm like, Kasha, I can't do it. And he's like, okay. If you can't do it, you can't do it. And we backed out. And I got this really nasty, text message from the CEO of the other company, like pretty much telling me to go to hell. And I'm like, best wishes. I just decided against it. And it's crazy. Sometimes you got to trust your gut. So a couple of weeks after that happened, Kasha gave me a call and he said, did you see the news? And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, well, the company that was going to buy us, they just got shut down by the European Union because there was contamination in the product. 2 weeks after that, they got shut down by the FDA.
Wow.
2 weeks after that, their factory burnt down in Brazil.
Oh my goodness.
So we half of the, like 80% of the deal we had with them, or 60% of the deal was in stock. The stock was around $20 when we were going to do the deal. By the time the factory burnt down, the stock was like $1. So if we would have done that, we would have lost everything. We would have lost everything, because by the time we signed to the time that they went under, we would have just completely lost our pants. Like, we would have lost our shirt, done, out of business. So my gut was telling me not to do it, and I didn't do it. And, thank God, because we kept going, and I think we've done great things since then. But, I would recommend to people, never do stock deals. Just cash. Never do stock deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great, you ask yourself, I mean, your history is full of instances where there seems to be some kind of serendipitous thing that's kind of helped
Yeah.
you out. And I mean, you've certainly put a ton of work into it, but you're right. Like, you've got a lot of gut instincts that have worked out, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like there's some hocus pocus involved in all this, but I think when you're intimately involved in your business and what you're doing, there's things that that you just can't explain to other people. And like, other people just don't know about what you're doing or how you're feeling. And I think that's your gut. It's like the things that you can't express into words that you just feel. I don't think it's some like magical, wandering hand or spirit that's helping you through things. But again, as you mentioned, just getting up every day and dealing with the issues and getting through it is enough to give yourself another chance at whatever you're doing in life. And in business, and the business is like that. So something happens, you either can decide, I'm going to get around this and I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to give up.